The owners is the collaboration between two old friends, David Butterfield and Piers Roberts. David has a vineyard in France. He's been living in Beaune, France since 2001, producing internationally acclaimed wines. And he and Piers were over there. They just finished harvesting grapes, and they were sitting around having a glass of Calvados, which is an aged apple brandy. And they thought, you know what? We need to make this product in Ontario, because both of the lads were from Ontario, and they were from Toronto. And they knew of this region because they both skied up here, they both had summered up here, they loved it in this area. And this Georgian Bay region, here where we are in the Blue Mountains, is one of the largest apple growing regions in Ontario and in Canada. So they decided to draw from this area, try to find something and begin producing the best apple cider and a Canadian interpretation of a classic European eau de vie, which is a clear apple brandy. And then it goes through an aging process, which is in oak barrels, becoming similar to a Calvados type product, but we can't call it that because it's like champagne. So in 2015, we found this orchard. It's 80 acres, and it is an organic orchard, 100% organic, pro-cert certified. And from it, we've been able to bring back almost 20 acres to operable state. We've planted a further 10 acres of European varietals, bitter sweet and bitter sharp, to add complexity and interest as we move forward and we begin to blend more recipes. So 2015 was the purchase. By 2016, we had shovels in the ground. Mike Preston did our building, which is, in our eyes and in his, it's a cathedral to the apples. And that's how we kind of feel about it and we look at it. And he also did the new farm in Creemore. So if you're interested in space, that's another cool one to go and check out. And our landscape architect was Joel Loblaw, who also did the Drake in Peck, Prince Edward County. We started producing our ciders in 2017, end of 2017. And our signature cider is our Golden Eye, which is locally sourced cider. And that is in the LCBO, as well as over 200 bars and restaurants in the city, GTA, up here in the Blue Mountains. And we also have two other ciders. We have our organic cider, which is our estate-grown and produced Never Say Never. And we also have our Crimson Tide, which is a black currant infusion into the Golden Eye. So in addition to the ciders, we also produce spirits here. We have a handmade Carl Still from Germany. It's hand-hammered copper. And we have two stacks on it. We have a vodka stack and a brandy stack. So each of our products that we make here, well, two of our products that we make here are produced from our apples on site. So the first one that we did and that we created, this was the one where the story all started, our eau de vie, our water of life. It's a Canadian interpretation of a European classic. And this one is produced from our Never Say Never cider. So our green can being our Never Say Never. And this is our eau de vie, now that it's all packaged up and also pretty. It's a clear, colorless apple brandy, very, very subtle hint of apples. So almost a summery hint of apples. It comes, we double distill it, and it's slightly different than a vodka in that vodka will go in through the still and come out at a much higher alcohol content. It will come out at about a 94% on the first run through, whereas an eau de vie will come out more around a 74 or thereabouts, and then it will go through a second distillation, taking it to around a 40%. Whereas vodka, which we also make from our apples as well, from our organic apples here on site, it comes out at around 96, but it goes through 3 times. So it takes 3 cuts to get through the head, the tails, and the heart. So if you're not familiar with the head, the tails, and the heart of vodka, the heart is the purest alcohol of the cut and the distillation. So the heads and the tails are removed. So as we take it through each cut, we take only the heart from each cut. So it goes through 3 cuts, but 63 runs through the sight lines through the filtration of the columns. Yeah, so it's significant, and it's why it tastes amazing. And it's an apple vodka, so there's really not a lot of those happening around here right now. So it's a big deal for us. Once again, trying to really capitalize on the quality product that we have here, using the best material, the best products, the best way to produce it, with the finest materials there as well, with our still and our tanks, our stainless steel tanks. And the next product that we make in terms of distilled product is our gin, which is our Dr. Yes gin. So again, through all of these products, Spy, the name comes from the northern Spy apple. But for marketing purposes, we can have a lot of fun. So we've had a lot of fun with the names, of course, all of the Crimson Tide, Never Say Never, right, Golden Eye. Anyway, it's a little bit of a play on words and a bit of a spy theme. We redact out information on our products for fun, and on our cards and all of our marketing material. But back to the gin. So our gin is 13 botanicals, and it too is also triple distilled, fully organic, has a hint of hibiscus, Madagascar vanilla, star anise, notes of citrus, juniper. Beautiful product. Once again, because we produce everything on site, so we grow on site, so we press on site, we ferment on site in stainless steel tanks that hold 12,000 liters of juice. We carbonate on site. We do a champagne finish in our bright tank for our ciders. So very soft bubbles, small and delicate. We can and keg on site. Everything happens here. So our cider maker, Piers Roberts, has an enormous amount of influence over what comes out, what is the final product, and the quality of it, and that his name and the integrity of the product is in every single package, every single can, keg, growler, whatever it is that we're selling and putting out there, that you can count on it to be consistent and a quality premium product. Well, out of all of these items, the biggest demand has been for the gin. Everyone is so excited about the gin, and we've been selling that really, really well. All of our products, by the way, are available on our website, spydistillery.com. So that's important to know, as well as our Golden Eye cider is available at the LCBO and a few other convenience stores that sell licensed product now. The other item, they're all popular, but really the gin's really popular. The eau de vie has been exceptionally popular, especially in the winter for the hot toddies. It's brilliant. Oh my gosh, it is so good. I can't tell you, we have a brilliant recipe on the website. You have to try it out. Oh, I promise you, it's brilliant. The cider recipe, it's funny, the cider that, all of our ciders are really popular. It's funny that the beer drinkers tend to really love the Golden Eye. The Never Say Never, the organic is really interesting and so clear and fresh. People love that, and they love to compare the two because there are only 2 organic cideries in Ontario, and we're one of them. So the opportunity to try them side by side is very rare. So it's an interesting opportunity to do that. But I would say, and the Crimson Tide, okay, again, fan favorite. But the one for a lot of the staff that is a huge fan favorite is the Never Say Never, blended with a raspberry wine that we made on site. We received 18,000 pounds of raspberries, and we made 300 liters of wine. Well, we made 300 liters of juice, and what are you gonna do with 300 liters of juice? You make wine, because that's way more fun. So we made the wine, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's such a beautiful, refreshing, dry, crisp summer drink, but can be enjoyed all year long. As a note too about our ciders, point of difference with our ciders versus some of the others that are out there on the market right now is that ours are 6 to 8 grams of sugar, so they're super dry, crisp. I would say the difference between the Golden Eye, the locally sourced, and the Never Say Never is possibly that the Never Say Never, the organic, is a little softer on the palate. But that is something that has really appealed to a lot of people, the fact that they're not syrupy sweets. Well, at present, we have 8 of us that are involved with it, but there are many other people who, down in the city, we have our cold storage facility, we have our brokers that are helping us out across Ontario. So there's a few people involved, but we have a really small, tight group, and it's kind of like family, and we're loving it. It's a great way to be. All right, so a little bit about me. Well, my husband and I actually moved up here to the Blue Mountains to try out country living. So we actually live in a property that's up in Ravenna, not far from here, and it's a totally different life. What else can I tell you? I teach yoga on the side. That's the thing I do. I do retreats. I teach in a couple studios in town, here in Thornbury as well as Collingwood. I also teach down a couple studios in the city in Toronto. But first and foremost, Spy is, I found it. I found it at the farmer's market last May. First day of the farmer's market, came upon it. We hit it off really well, and the next thing you knew, I was working here, and it's just all evolved from that. So yeah, what do I do up here? Everything that everybody else does: ski, bike, hike, kayak, paddleboard, all of the good stuff that makes living up here and having a business up here so fun, so different than having one in the city. I think if I could speak from David's point of view of what has been the biggest success here is the group of people that we have pulled together, the product that is being produced by our cider maker peers, the integrity of all of us to stick to our plan, to commit to giving and providing the best product that we possibly can, and to expanding on that and growing, but within the confines of keeping the integrity in each product, so we don't rush to market, so we don't rush to produce something that is not up to the standard that we want to produce. We could have put out product earlier, but it wasn't right for us. So we waited, and we're doing this methodically, and I think that's all part of it. And is there anything that's the best? No, I mean, it's just, this is here in Ontario, in the best region, in best place to live, and we're having a great time. And you know, we're having a great time, and there's no better story than that to tell any of you. Really, come and join us. It's fun. It's a great product.